You are watching the After Hours Gaming League, cast by myself, Totalbiscuit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the After Hours Gaming League, as brought to you by Day9.tv. My name is Totalbiscuit, bringing this matchup right here between Team Facebook and Team Yelp in the blue trunks. Playing turn to the southwest of this particular map, it is the one and only Ender. He is playing for Team Facebook, and this guy, yes indeed, Kronos, the Protoss player. He is in the green trunks to the northeast. He is playing for Team Yelp. He's a software engineer for Yelp, and his opponent is a marketing analyst. Indeed, his purpose is to help clients build a long-term Facebook advertising strategy. Well, hey, why not? If you don't know what the After Hours Gaming League is, go and check out afterhours.tv. Afterhoursgaming.tv, in fact. It's where 8 tech titans, these highly paid and highly intelligent, highly qualified people, decide that what they want to do on the evening is to play StarCraft for charity, and indeed, why not? Right now, Team Yelp not doing so well. They have lost 2 matches so far. First and second week's matches were both losses. Facebook not doing too badly. We shall see how this turns out for them. They seem to be a fairly competent team. They ended up losing against Dropbox in the first, however. So that's something to consider. Needs to be a little bit careful. A much larger team than Team Yelp. Team Yelp, I believe, only has about 5 players. Quantity over quality in the terms of Facebook, perhaps, but you never know. Facebook team has a lot of friends. It's to be expected. We shall see what comes out of them. Ender looking to wall off right here against his opponent, the Protoss. Not always an optimal thing to do. Some people like it, some people don't. If you want to try and deny scouting early on, then it's certainly not a terrible idea. The main problem is that the supply depots end up in sniping range, so you can end up having stalkers just pick them off. Not so great. Ender now looking to wall that off completely. There we go. Neither opponent having scouted each other as of yet. They're getting a little bit unlucky with their locations. Kronos with the gateway up right there, and very, very standard wall off as well for him. I think there's a hole in the middle there. I'm fairly sure there is. Yes, indeed there is. Kronos checks it. He is not entirely certain, but it's a nice, solid wall, and he'll, of course, block off with the Zealot. And he might, in fact, I'm almost certain he'll be able to deny scouting, and his opponent's going to do that as well. So this is going to be, by the looks of it, a complete and total blind run. Although, that said, never mind. There's 2 Marines at the bottom, so that will be denied. 2 barracks play right here for Ender, going for an initial tech lab. We'll see if he decides to go for a 3 barracks pressure attack. It works. Nothing wrong with it. Very, very standard against the Protoss. Or could be a 2 barracks into expand. Nothing wrong with that at all. Very powerful build. Considering the amount of money that he's got, I think that's almost certainly going to be the case right here from Ender. And that will be very, very unpleasant indeed. Yelp currently 1-up in this best of 5 series, so Facebook needing to come back into this in a fairly major way. See what Kronos has up his sleeve. Very standard opening from him. He's actually not going for warp gate tech yet. There we go. Now finally going into it. He's had a ton of gas, so that's a really, really late warp gate tech. 2 more gateways going down. Considering the amount of gas, I'd expect to see either a Twilight Council, a Stargate, or a robotics facility. It's going to be a Stargate from Kronos. I don't see why you'd be floating so much gas otherwise. In the meantime, a small force from Ender moving out, and the army count is looking alright for Kronos right here. Should be alright, but we'll see. He does only have 1 sentry. He's going to need to break out something a little bit more than that. Stim is nowhere near on the way. Ender's actually going to be looking to apply some very early bunker pressure here, I'd imagine. 2 SCVs moving in for good measure. It's going to be difficult to shut down. Kronos might end up getting a small contain outside of his base right here. Not that that's going to matter too much if that Stargate goes up. Kronos needs to desperately try and block this off. Firing right there. There is... Oh, he dies anyway. The SCV's actually going there. No bunker pressure as of yet from Ender. Stalker now on the field. Kronos is going to need to snipe off those SCVs immediately. 2 Stalkers now. Is it enough? Arguably, it would be a very, very close thing with that Zealot. So Ender is now pushed away from that. The Stargate is up, and as far as I'm aware, he has no information on it. Indeed, he does not. That's going to be very, very helpful for Kronos right here. Can catch his opponent completely unawares. No engineering bay up for him either. There's the expansion almost complete right here for Ender. And another barracks going down. And the factory. Stim is on its way, but the size of his armed forces are not exactly impressive. It's 19 to 12 right now. Still nothing out of that. I have to imagine that's simply due to lack of gas. Against the Terran, it's very, very, very likely that he's going to go with a Void Ray, assuming that he decides to use this Stargate at all for anything. He will have the gas momentarily. He's a bit supply blocked, though, so he's not going to be able to deploy anything from it just yet. Realizes that and deploys a pylon. There we go, there's the Void Ray, which is sadly supply blocked. Twilight Council on the way up as well, and here comes the second wave from Ender. It's well timed by the looks of it, and it's a good size force. 21 to 12 is the army supply, and Kronos is going to need to warp in immediately in order to shut this down. Otherwise, this is going to charge its way through there, and taking out the Zealot with bare minimum casualties, but a nice shutdown with the force field right there. And Ender unable to get into the base for the time being. Ooh, a sneaky pylon down the bottom right there. That's great positioning right there by Kronos, and his opponent doesn't see it, so if he needs to, he can warp in at the bottom of the ramp. Admittedly, Ender might spot this. There, he does. Deciding he doesn't want to go for it, however. That Void Ray is on its way, and big damage could be done in the base with this. Blowing up his own gateway because he's stuck behind all of this stuff. Not exactly ideal, but hey, we're going to go with it. He might have the forces to push out now. In fact, I'm fairly sure he can, considering the injuries on those. And in the meantime, that Void Ray is going to... I have to wonder, is it going to go and attack, or is it going to get aggressive? Wow. Nice one, Ender. There you go. No, dear. No, no, no. You don't want to do that. That's bad. That's very, very bad. And that's going to cause him a whole heap of problems because he has no medevacs yet. So that's a lot of badly injured forces. He actually misstims. And now this is a real opportunity for Kronos to get aggressive. Especially with that Void Ray. If Kronos can snipe off those Marines, and there's not a huge number of them, if he can eliminate the Marines, then that Void Ray will go completely unmolested. Kronos sitting now on 6 gateways, so 6 gateway pressure off one. This is actually a 6 gateway pressure off one base. He can expand any time now if he so desires. He certainly has the money for it. And there we go. Now going for the Marauders. He needs to bring those Marines down immediately. Otherwise, that Void Ray will die. He can move away. No, he can't. And Kronos just got absolutely annihilated. Nicely played there by Ender. And here comes the counter-attack. This is going to get dangerous. This is where Facebook could very easily get back in this fight. Kronos is inexplicably building 6 gateways on one base, which he absolutely, without hesitation, cannot support. He has no army to speak of, and there's a very real possibility of some very serious bunker containment going on here. Ender going in and deploying the factory as well to have a look-see. Medevacs coming on the field. I mean, Kronos has a lot of money, I'll give him that, but he doesn't have the gas to support 6 gates. And after a couple more warp-ins, he's going to be completely out of cash. Now, this initial force by Ender will be shut down, I would think. Not without taking a few stalkers with it. Reinforcements coming in, but once the medevacs go on the field, that really is all she wrote. Unless these Void Rays can do big damage. It's a possibility. Again, not a lot of Marines in that force. An expansion has to be coming, surely, for Kronos. He's just... This is the weirdest one-base play I've ever seen. 6 warp gates on one base. In front of it, he still has the money, but he's going to be mined out so fast. I mean, he's had 35 probes on these for ages. Ender now taking a 3rd base because he can. The analyst from Team Facebook looking to be in an absolutely stellar position, and now looking to do some drop play. And indeed, why not? Finally, an expansion on the 12-minute mark right here for Kronos, and these 6 gates will prove to be effective once he can power that, but once again, he's getting supply blocked. The supply difference between these two is huge. It's 58 to 100. Ender's going to get some great scouting information as well. He's already aware of the Stargate, but he'll be able to see that, and the exact number of gateways as well. That factory will not be shut down. In the meantime, we do have a... This is going to be a double drop. Ender would, I would imagine, look to attack this, and he might be able to do that. He may be able to force his opponent off of that. Will he pull all of his forces back to deal with this drop, I have to wonder. He's now trying to deal with the factory, and in the meantime, that's a lot of dead probes. Some good damage coming in, and there we go. Looks for the drop. He doesn't get it. Kronos appreciates the scout. Unfortunately, he is losing a huge number of probes in the process. This is nasty. This is hard to watch. Ender is gutting this entire mineral line. There's very little to stop me. He might even get out of there. In fact, I think he will, if he so desires. Huge amounts of damage done. Ah, get out! No, he can't. Never mind. Still, oh my, oh my. Ender has destroyed 30 workers with that attack. That has turned the economy of Kronos into Swiss cheese. Indeed, the marketing analyst decided the economy of his opponent's company not viable, and indeed he was correct in that assumption. I have to say, I think there was a bit of insider trading going on there, but hey. 11 probes now to 50 SCVs. Here's the income comparison. Oh dear, there's not a lot of green there, is there? Not a lot at all. In the meantime, Kronos going for a last-ditch attack, which absolutely is not going to work. He does not have the numbers. Army supply 66 to 41. The production facilities are fired up for Ender. He should be able to easily repulse this. Unless, of course, he gets caught out of position and loses a bunch of dudes, but still, he's in a good position. I would imagine that Ender's going to win it. I mean, this is almost untenable for the Protoss player. It really is. Losing all of those probes, and as a direct result, he's also warping in a ton of Stalkers when he doesn't have the money for it. He really does not. He's not mining from this base at all. He's not producing any probes from it. I think this is only a matter of time, really. The scout is currently scouting the male Korak and the female Korak. We're currently stalking each other in some kind of crazy mating dance. Oh dear. Ender just biding his time. Perhaps we should ask Ender to end it. We shall find out. There is no real way that his opponent can actually win this. And really, it came down to just a weird build order. Going for those 6 gateways so early on. Not doing any real damage with the pressure. Not going out with the Void Rays when his opponent was in. You know, that's something that he should have considered. Now here comes the final engagement. Some initial damage done with those Void Rays. However, big aggressive fire coming in right here by Ender, who has the upgrade advantage, smashing Kronos' forces into tiny little pieces right now. And there they go. Kronos now has no army and is currently sitting on 12 supply. His opponent is on 122. This is a difficult situation to come back from. Yes, Kronos, I think, is going to have the GG. There you go. Yeah, that was a tad one-sided, ladies and gentlemen. And the second game in this Best of 5 series goes to Facebook, who are now right back in the fight.